Hey, fleet managers, logistics pros, and tech enthusiasts. Welcome back to Gear One. If you're running a fleet in 2025, you've probably heard the buzz about telematics and real-time data analytics. But what's driving this hype? And how can it save you money, boost efficiency, and keep your drivers safe? Today, we're diving deep into how telematics and real-time data are revolutionizing fleet management. Buckle up for a journey packed with insights, real-world stories, and actionable tips. Listen, in the fast-paced world of 2025, one of the greatest transformations in transportation is unfolding right before our eyes. Fleets that once ran on paper logs, phone calls, and outdated GPS units are now entering an era powered by intelligence, automation, and real-time decision-making. This revolution is not happening in secret. It's out on the highways of California, across the bustling streets of New York, and in the depots and distribution centers where fleets large and small are rewriting the rules of efficiency. At the heart of this revolution lie two powerful forces: telematics and real-time data analytics. Together, they are reshaping how fleet managers monitor, control, and optimize their vehicles. They are the new language of logistics, turning every mile, every gallon of fuel, and every driver action into valuable insight. But what makes this technology so powerful? And why is it being called the lifeline of modern fleet management? The foundation and definition of telematics, in its simplest form, is the nervous system of a fleet. It is the combination of GPS tracking, onboard diagnostics, sensors, and wireless communication that allows vehicles to talk to the cloud and to the people managing them. Every turn of the wheel, every press of the brake pedal, every drop of fuel burned is recorded, transmitted, and stored. Real-time data analytics, the second half of this equation, is the brain. It doesn't just collect information. It interprets it, processes it, and transforms it into knowledge that a fleet manager can use immediately. Imagine sitting in an office in Los Angeles and watching a live dashboard that shows exactly where every vehicle in your fleet is, how efficiently it's being driven, whether it needs maintenance, and how close it is to completing its delivery. What once required endless spreadsheets and radio calls is now available at a glance in real time. Mike's story is one from chaos to control, and in order to understand the impact, let's step into his shoes. Mike, a fleet manager for a mid-sized delivery company in New York. Just 2 years ago, his workdays were consumed by chaos. His 50-vehicle fleet was constantly behind schedule. Deliveries were delayed, drivers were frustrated, and fuel costs were climbing higher every month. He described his office as a storm without an eye. Phone lines buzzing, spreadsheets open on 3 screens, and GPS units that were more of a distraction than a help. Then came the shift. Mike was introduced to a telematics system with real-time analytics. Overnight, everything changed. Instead of being buried in numbers and phone calls, he had a single dashboard that showed him the truth of his fleet in living detail. He could see which drivers were idling too long, who was speeding, and which vehicles needed servicing. In just the first year, his company saved 15% on fuel alone. Tens of thousands of dollars reclaimed. More importantly, breakdowns became rare. Drivers felt supported instead of monitored, and customer satisfaction skyrocketed. Mike's story is not an exception. It's part of a much larger trend sweeping across America and beyond. So why is telematics at the center of every fleet conversation in 2025? The answer lies in the problems it solves, and this is the game changer. Fleets face 4 universal challenges: cost, safety, efficiency, and compliance. Telematics touches all 4. 1. Cost savings. By monitoring fuel consumption, idling time, and inefficient routes, companies report saving up to $1,000 per vehicle every year. 2. Driver safety. Real-time alerts warn managers of harsh braking, speeding, or distracted driving, allowing them to coach drivers before accidents happen. 3. Efficiency. Unified dashboards cut down administrative work, replacing clunky legacy systems with seamless tools. And 4. Compliance. Automated logging for hours of service and emissions keeps fleets aligned with regulations, avoiding costly fines. Recent studies show that 91% of fleet managers plan to increase their investment in technology by 2030, and telematics sits at the top of their priority list. In California alone, entire logistics chains are being restructured around data-driven decision-making. For us to understand how telematics works, let's break down the machinery behind this system. At its core, telematics has 3 moving parts. 1. Hardware. Devices like OBD2 dongles, AI-powered dashcams, and advanced GPS trackers. These plug into vehicles and collect data every second. 2. Connectivity. Cellular and satellite networks that stream this data to the cloud, even in remote areas. And 3. Software. Cloud platforms where the data is analyzed, visualized, and presented as dashboards, reports, or instant alerts. Picture this. A driver named Sarah is stuck in heavy Los Angeles traffic. Her truck has been idling for over 20 minutes. Instantly, the telematics system sends an alert. The fleet manager checks the dashboard, sees Sarah's exact location, and guides her toward an alternate route. At the same time, the system flags that Sarah's truck will need an oil change soon, ensuring maintenance can be scheduled before the next run. That is telematics in action, real-time, proactive, and incredibly powerful. Let us look at the case study of the green fleet revolution. You see, telematics isn't only about cutting costs, it's also about sustainability. Take Denver International Airport, for example. By 2025, it was recognized as the #1 green fleet in America. How? By using telematics to manage its massive fleet of shuttles, buses, and service vehicles. Through real-time analytics, Denver cut emissions by 20% and reduced fuel costs significantly. They optimized their routes across the airport's sprawling network and used telematics to monitor the battery levels of their growing electric fleet. Charging stations were allocated intelligently, avoiding downtime and maximizing efficiency. In California, similar stories are emerging as companies transition to hybrid and electric fleets, using telematics not just to track but to transform. Do you want to understand the power of real-time analytics? If yes, then this is the secret ingredient that gets fleet management cooking. Instead of waiting for end-of-day reports or weekly summaries, managers have insights instantly. 1. Route optimization. Algorithms evaluate live traffic, weather, and delivery schedules to find the fastest, most efficient path. 2. Predictive maintenance. Engine sensors feed data that can predict failures before they occur, reducing downtime by as much as 30%. And 3. Driver coaching. Real-time alerts for unsafe behavior give managers the chance to correct habits immediately. Imagine having an assistant that processes 20 trillion data points every year. That's the scale of some of today's top providers. It's like having a supercomputer working 24/7 to keep fleets safer, leaner, and faster. And just in case you are wondering, there will be challenges on the road ahead, as there is no revolution without resistance. The telematics wave brings some of these, and they are: 1. Upfront costs. Hardware and subscription fees can seem high, especially for smaller fleets. 2. Driver resistance. Some drivers worry about being overly monitored. And 3. Data overload. Without training, the flood of information can overwhelm managers. But solutions exist. Fleets are starting small with plug-and-play devices. Managers are building trust by showing drivers how telematics protects them, like providing proof in the event of an accident. Training programs are turning raw data into actionable strategies. Mike from earlier faced the same driver pushback, but he overcame it by proving how the system reduced unnecessary overtime. His drivers weren't just monitored, they were protected. As of 2025, there are tools defining the market, and some of the most talked-about telematics platforms include Samsara, with its AI dashcams and all-in-one platform, Geotab, famous for its customization and open APIs, and Verizon Connect, offering strong compliance and video telematics. For startups and small fleets, open-source solutions like Fleetio are gaining popularity, letting businesses get started without heavy costs. The ecosystem is expanding quickly, creating a marketplace where every fleet, no matter the size, can find its fit. As we approach a new horizon, AI, EVs, and autonomy make the future of telematics even more thrilling. Artificial intelligence is already being woven into platforms, enabling them to predict traffic patterns and optimize routes in milliseconds. With electric vehicles on the rise in developed and developing countries, telematics will play a vital role in monitoring battery health, managing charging cycles, and ensuring uptime. And then comes autonomy. As autonomous vehicles begin to enter the logistics world, real-time data will become the bedrock of remote operation and safety. By 2030, experts predict that 80% of fleets worldwide will operate with telematics as a standard feature. Those who adopt now are not just keeping up, they're getting ahead. For fleet managers considering the leap, the actionable path is clear. 1. Assess your needs, whether cost savings, compliance, or safety is your priority. 2. Choose scalable solutions. Start with a few vehicles, then expand. 3. Train your team to use dashboards effectively. And 4. Monitor ROI closely. Track every dollar saved and every hour of downtime reduced. These steps are not theory. They are the blueprint for fleets across Asia, the Americas, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. And as we draw to a close, the story of telematics and real-time data analytics is not just about machines, dashboards, or algorithms. It's about people, drivers staying safe, managers regaining control, and businesses achieving sustainability. From Mike's fleet in New York to the green revolution in Denver, to the highways of the world, telematics is proving one thing. The future of fleet management is smarter, faster, and more sustainable than ever before. This is not a passing trend. This is the new standard. And those who embrace it today will define the fleets of tomorrow. The choice is yours. If you found this helpful and full of value, kindly like and subscribe. Thank you.